Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. And take that easiness with a grain of salt because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called Consecutive Pairs by Fenners, and here are the rules. Normal 9x9 Sudoku rules apply, which means fill the entire 9x9 grid with the digits 1 through 9 such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or 9-cell region. Cages are either a look and say cage and or a killer cage. You must determine which is which. So for example, this 1-7 means there's either 1-7 in the cage, or this cage adds up to 17, or both. We don't know. Same with this. In this 11 cage, there's either 1-1, or they add up to 11, or both. Right? We're not sure which. So as an example, you could have something like 1. Let's just use this. 7, 8, 9, and 6 is valid here because this could be a look and say cage, which is 1-7, and there's 1-7 in the cage, or it could be add up to 17. So you could have something like, I don't know, 5, 6, 2, and 4. And that also works for this cage because it could add up to 17. So those are what cages can be. They can be either a look and say or a killer cage or both. We also have consecutive pairs. I'm not really sure why it's pairs or it's consecutive, but the pairs here essentially act like white crop key dots here, where digits separated by a pair must be consecutive, and not all pairs are given. So for example, if this were a 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7, because the pairs act like white Kropke dots and separate digits which are consecutive. And here's more information about the look and say cages. The clue indicates the number of times a digit appears in the cage. That is a 1-5 would mean there is 1-5 in the cage. In killer cages, digits do not repeat. Okay, so in killer cages specifically, digits do not repeat and sum to the clue in the top left. But in look and say cages, digits could repeat. We just don't know. And those are all the rules. I'm not really sure why it's called consecutive pairs or why pairs. Oh, I see. It's consecutive pairs, and then you have the hominin pairs, right? You have consecutive pairs, but these are pairs. That makes more sense. Okay. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, we have 4 consecutive digits here. This can never add up to 11, because if you have 4 consecutive digits, the best you can do is 1, 2, 3, 4, which adds up to 10, or 2, 3, 4, 5, which adds up to 14. And since all of these digits are consecutive with each other, it cannot be then a killer cage, because even if you try to have, like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 3, that's still 12 anyways. You'd have to have 2 of each digit to be consecutive. Therefore, this must satisfy the look and say cage, which means there's 1-1. But since there's 1-1, we don't know what the other digits are. It's look and say. We only know the restriction is 1-1. So like I said before, if you have 4 consecutive digits, it either adds up to 10 or 14. So this has to be a look and say cage, because killer cage, again, cannot have repeats. So you can only have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5 at minimum. And those add up to respectively 10 and 14. So this could be the 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be 2, 3, 4, 5. Or it's a 4. Okay, so we know. That's one thing we do know. there's 1 1 here. What is the 1 consecutive with? It has to be 2. So you have to have 1 2, either 1 2 3 4 or 1 2 3 2 as the consecutive digits. Well, what does this 1 4 cage or 14 cage have to have? If it's 14, there are 4 consecutive digits, so it has to be 2 3 4 and 5. If this is 14, this is also, again, if it adds up to 14, it's 2 3 4 5. If it's 1 4, that means there's a 4 here. So either way, in either case, even if this is a look and say cage or if it's killer cage, there must be a 4 here and there must be 1 4 here. We don't know where they are though. Similarly here, this is one. This has to be a 1 2. It can't be add up to. You can't have 4 consecutive digits which are unique, which adds up to 12. They either add up to 10 or 14. So that means the 2 has to be here. There's a 4 here either way. We know this is a look and say cage. It has to be. So we're gonna make those green. For ones that are killer cages, we'll make those red, I guess. I don't know. Okay, green's 2. Make it blue because we need the contrast. The pairs are throwing things off. So this has to have a 2 here also to be consecutive with a 1. This has to have a 3. There has to be a 3 here also. Interesting. Okay. To be consecutive, right? And this could be 1 2 3 2. So the possibilities here are 1 2 3 and 2 or 4. The possibilities here can be 1 through 5. The possibilities here to add up to 14 are either 2 3 4 5 or 1 or 4 5 6 7 to be consecutive. No, okay. Oh. This has to be 1 2 3 2. Because in a circle, they're all consecutive, right? If they're all consecutive, it can never be 1 2 3 4, right? Because that would mean 1 and 4 would have to be consecutive somehow with 2 digits out of 1 2 3 4, and that's not possible. So it's the same with these, right? These are all look and say cages. None of them are killer cages because they're all consecutive with 2 other digits in their set. The only way that it's consecutive with 2 other digits is if 2 of the digits are not unique. So that means this is guaranteed to be 1 2 and 3, and therefore there's 2 2s here. This has to have 1 2. So this is guaranteed to have 2 2s, either the 2s here and 2s here, or 2s here and 2s here. So the rest of columns 3 and 4 and the rest of rows 2 and 3 and 4 cannot have a 2 in it. Which means this has to be 4 and 5 guarantee. It's 3, 4, 5, and 6 is a possibility. And this is also 3, 4, 5, 6 because it cannot have a 1 or it cannot this also cannot be 5 here. So this is either 3 4 5 4 or it's 4 5 6 5. So there have to be two twos here. There's either two fours or two fives here. There's two fours or two fives here. It could be both the same, though. These are both look and see cages. Hmm. None of these digits can be 2. None of these digits can be 2 either. Hmm. None of these digits can be 2. None of these digits can be 2. None of these digits can be 2. Oh, this is 1, 2. It cannot be 1, 2, 3, 2. So it has to be 2, 3, 4, 3. So there's 2 3s here. Right? Because we know it's guaranteed 1, 2 in this cage. Same here. This is guaranteed 1, 4. So it cannot be 3, 4, 5, 4. It has to be 4, 5, 6, 5. This is also 4, 5, 6, 5. So that means 5 cannot appear in any of rows 6 or 7, columns 3 or 4, or columns... Actually, yeah. Cannot appear in rows 3, 4, 6, and 7. Cannot appear in columns 3, 4, and 6, and 7. Okay. 3 is duplicated twice here. So 3... Okay, so... what are the possibilities in rows 1 and... Sorry, 3 and 4? You cannot have 2s and you cannot have 5s. That's not gonna... Okay. What about columns? Rows 5 and 6 and 7 and columns 6 and 7. There's no 3s because 3 is set twice in those rows and columns. There's no 5s because 5s are set twice in those rows and columns. And 4, if there's a 4 here, that means 4 has to appear in one of these two cells. If there's that also means 4 has to appear here. So this cannot contain 3, 4, or 5 in that column. So it could be 1, 2 here. No 3, 4, 5. It could be 6, 7, 7, 8, or 8, 9. And this is the same here. This is 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. Same with this. This is 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, even if this is 1, 2, I guess that's fine. This is also 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. What else do we have here? Here we know these digits are unique anyways. Same with these. Okay, the 9 has to be one of these 5 digits. That's actually, it can never be here. So the 9 has to be one of these. So if this is not 1, 9 here, which would mean 9 is one of these two, what can it ever add up to 19 without that 9? 19 without 9 would have to be 5, 6, and 8, or 4, 7, 8. So that seems possible. No, wait, it's not possible. 5, 6, and 8 is not possible. So either 9 is one of these two. Or it adds up to 19. It could be with a 9. Without 9, though, it would have to be what? It would have to be an 8 here, 9 on one of the sides, and then 7 on one of the sides. And would this ever add up to 19? Technically, you could have 5 and 6, but that would eliminate 5 and 6 from both of these cells, which would make both of these cells be 4. And so we'd have a duplicate there. So that's not possible. So we know then 9 has to be one of these two cells. It can add up to 9 with the 9 by itself, or it could be just satisfying the look and say cage, which is just 1 9 in that cage. This could no longer be 8 here. It could be 7 here with 6 and 8. We know it cannot, well, Interesting. What are the possibilities here? Again, okay, so it could be 6, 7, and 8. Can it be 5, 6, and 7? No, because that would eliminate, again, 2 of these digits here. Cannot be... So obviously can't be 4, 5, 6, because that would eliminate all possibilities for these cells. Can't be 3, 4, 5, because it would eliminate 2 possibilities for each of these cells, which would force both of them to be 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't work. 2, 3, 4 doesn't work because that would eliminate possibilities here. And 1, 2, 3 doesn't work because that would also eliminate all possibilities here. So we know then this has to be 7 and it's a 6, 8 pair, which means this can't be 6, this can't be 6. So now we have in this central box a 4, 5 pair, which eliminates 4 and 5 from the rest of the box. This has to be 9 with 1, 2, or 3 here. Okay. This cannot be 3 because, again, there has to be either 3 here and 3 here or 3 here and a 3 here. This cannot be 2 because, again, one of these is 2 and 2 or one of these is 2 and 2, so this can't be 2. This pair can never add up to 15, so this has to be a look and say cage. Actually, this can never add up to 19 because it's 1, 9. Actually, it could be 3, 7 could actually work that way. But this can't add up to 15, so there has to be 1, 5 here. Obviously, 9 cannot be here because actually the 9 could be here. Never mind. 9 cannot be here, though, because that would be consecutive with another digit. So 9 could be here. The rest of these digits could actually be 1 through 4. 5 cannot appear in the rest of this cage, in the rest of the row, though, because one of these is 5. Which leaves this as 1, 2, 3, 4. And it cannot be 9, because 9 is only consecutive with 8. And these could be 1, 2, 3, 4 with 9. Okay. What else do we have? So this is either 3, 9 added together, or it's 2 with another digit. So this can never be 2 and 3 here, but it could still be 1, 2, and that could be 3, 9. Okay. 9 and 7 cannot be here. It cannot have a 3, and it cannot have a 5 either. So no 3, 5, 7, or 9 in this spot, which means it's 2, 4, 6, 8, and 1 as possibilities there. This can't be 7 or 9 and 2 and 5. So this could be 4, 6, 8, 1, 3 is a possibility. Let's see. This is 2 2s here. So this cannot be 2 here. This can't be 5, because if this were 5, that would mean 5 cannot be here. 5 would only be in one spot, but we only have 1, 4 possibility, so it can't be 3, 4, 5 here. Again, there's 2 3s here, so that eliminates 3 from the rest of this cage. That's why it has to be 4, 5, and 6, which means there's 2 5s here. This cannot be 5. Therefore, this has to be a 5 here, which means it's consecutive with 4. So this can't be 4, this can't be 4. This can't be 4, 5 because of the 4, 5 in the box, so this must be 6, which is consecutive with only 5 out of 4, 5, and 6. So these are 5. This must be a 4 to have the 1, 4. So this cannot be 4 here. This can't be 6. This can't be 4, which leaves a 2, 3 pair here. This can't be 4 here. We need a 4 in one of these spots. So this is 4, which means these are both 3. Those are the only consecutive ones with 4, and therefore this is 2. This 5 eliminates 5 here, so this is 4, which means both of these are 5, and this is a 6. This 2 eliminates 2 here and here. This can't be 2 anymore, so it cannot be 1 and 2. So this is either 6, 7, 7, 8, or 8 and 9 here. This can't be 6. This can't be 4. This can't be 6. This can't be 3. 3 has to be, cannot be either of these. Can't be here. So 3 has to be one of these 3 cells here. Since 3 has to be one of these 3, this can never be 3. Oh, we need 2 2s, right? And 2 cannot be here. So both of these are 2, and this must be a 1, 3 pair. One of those is 1, one of them is 3. We don't know which is which. Okay. This can't be 2, therefore this can't be 1 here. This can't be 2, therefore 1 can't be here. This can't be 6 because of the 6 in the column. Remaining digits in row 3. Actually, let's do row 6. Row 6 are 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, but 6 cannot be here. Where is a 6 in row 6? It has to be here, and so therefore this is a 6, 7 pair, which eliminates 6 and 7 from the rest of the row. 8 has to be one of these two then. In row 7, we have 1, 2, 7, 8, and 9 left. But any of them are possible. One thing we know is in column 3. Okay, so this can never be 7. Well, it could be 7. It could only be consecutive with 1, 2, and 3, and 7, 8, and 9, but 6 is not possible because we already have a 6 in the box. We know in column 3, one of them has to have a 7 at least in box 1 or box 7. So this can not both of these cages cannot be look and say cages because one of them cannot have 1 7 in it at least. They both could be actually killer cages, but we don't know which. 5 has to be one of these 2 digits. 5 is in the 17 cage. We're not sure which. 5 is also in this 17 cage here. We're not sure which. 5 is one of these 2 digits here. What about 4? 4 has to be one of these 2 digits. And one of these 2 digits here. 8 has to be one of these 2. Okay, this can never be 2 here. Where is the 2? Okay, this can't be 4. We have a 1, 3, 9 triplet, which eliminates 1, 3, and 9 in the rest of row 5, so this must be 2. This then has to be a 4, 8 pair here. This is 2, so this cannot be 2 here. This can't be 2 here. So this can't be 1 to be consecutive with those digits. What about the rest of row 3? Actually, let's do the rest of column 7. It's 1, 7, 8, 9. Rest of row 3, this is consecutive, but it cannot be 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, or 4, 5, or 5, 6. So this is either 6, 7, 7, 8, or 8, 9. That's interesting. The rest of this is 1, 7, or 9 here. So this cannot be 1, 2. Therefore, this must add up to 12. So this is a killer cage, which means this is a 3, 9 pair, which eliminates 3 and 9 here. So this is 1, which makes this 3, which makes that a 1. This one eliminates 1 here, so this is 9, and this must be 3. This cannot be 1, so it's a 7, 9 pair. This can't be 9, so it's a 1, 8 pair here. The remaining digits in column 3 are 4, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 4, 7, 8, and 9. 4 could be consecutive with 3. 5 can be but this, so therefore this 4 cannot be here because 3 can't be in this box and 5 can't be in this box. So this is 7, 8, 9 also. This could be consecutive with 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that leaves in row 9, we have a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruplet, which eliminates 6, 7, 8, 9 in the rest of the row. So this is 1 through 5, this is 1 through 5, and this is 1 through 5. But obviously this can't be 3 or 5, this can't be 5 or 4, and we don't know much about everything else. This can't be 4 here. If this were not 1, 2, that would be, this is 7, 8, and 9. Which would mean, this would have to be 8 with 7 or 9. And this would be 7, 8, or 9, so this would have to be 1. So 1 cannot appear in the rest of box 9, so these can't be 1. This is 2, 3, and 2, 3 or 5. That means we know 6 has to be one of these two cells here. 6 is also one of these two cells, which means 7 has to be one of those two cells there. This digit is 1, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oops. 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. This can't be 3 because of the 3 in the row. This is also 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2 has to be here. So this is 2 and 5. Okay, so these digits that are consecutive could be 2, 5, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oh, those are the only possibilities. So we know 3 is here too. So this is 2 and 5 in here. If it adds up to 17, it would have to be adding up. Okay. That's interesting. So this is 2 or 5 here. If it's 17, the other two digits must add up to 10. You can't have 2, 8 or 3, 7 here. It'd have to be 1, 9 or 4, 6 if this added up to 17. That doesn't tell us much. If this is 5, it has to be with 3 also. So this is 3 and 5 here, which means this is 8 for the two digits, which means the other two digits must add up to 9, right? 17 minus 8 is 9. So it could be 1, 8, 2, 7, and that's it. Obviously, if it has a 7, then either of these could be 7. These digits here are 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. These digits here are 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. That tells us a decent amount, actually. In columns 6 or 7, the 1 has to be in either the second or the 8th row. And in 7, column 7, one has to be in the second or 8th row. Which means there must be a 1 here and there must be a 1 here, which eliminates 1 from the rest of the row. So this can never be 1 here or 1 here. 3, 7, and 9 works both as a look-and-say cage and as a killer cage. So that works both ways. Hmm. Okay. So again, to add up to 17, it could be 2519, which would make this 6, 7, and 8. That would mean this is 1, which would mean that has to be 1. So 2519 means this is 6 with 7 or 8, and this is 4 with 7 or 8. Um, that would force 1 not to be here. So this would be 6 and 7. Well, it could be 6 and... No, 6 with 7 or 8. This would then be 8 or 9. So... Okay. Okay. So, if this is... Okay, so if this is 2519, that forces this to be 6, which means 9 can't be here, 9 can't be here, 9 would have to be here with 8, which would force this to be 6 and 7, which would force this to be 4 and 8, which would mean 7 would have to be here. So this would have to add up to 17 if this is 1, 9. What if this is 4, 6? If this is 4, 6, 2, 5... Okay. Hmm. 3 has to be one of these two digits here, because 3 cannot appear in these two cells and can't be here. Hmm. So this could be 2, 5, 4, 6, which makes this a 1, 7, 8, 9, and a 7, 8, 9 triplet. Or quadruplet, sorry. That seems okay. Um, hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to go through all the possible. Yeah. I don't know if I would consider this easy. There's a lot of combinations, I think. Obviously, I'm not thinking through everything here. Okay, so this could be 5, 6. It can never be 6, 7 here. It could also be 7, 8 here. Hmm. Hmm. Uh. Hmm. Do we have anything else? Or do we just have to go through all the possibilities? It seems like we have to go through all the possibilities. 6 has to be one of these two, so this can never be 6 here. Uh, hmm. 3 has to be obviously one of these 4. That's not telling us much. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that's interesting. So if 4 is here, sorry, 4 is not here. That means this must be 3, 4, and 5 here, which means this must be 7 also. Okay, so if 4 is in not here, 4 has to be in this cage, and 3, 4, 5 adds up to 12. Well, to add up to 17, you would need another 5, but that would be a repeat in that box, so that's not possible. So if this is 4 not here, that means 4 is in the cage. You have 3, 4, and 5. You would have to have a 7 with it to match either the look and say cage or the killer cage. Couldn't match the killer cage, so it has to match the look and say cage. Therefore, this would be an 8, 9 pair, which would force this to be 4 and 7. The problem with this, though, as 4 and 7, is that would force this to be 2, 5, 1, 9 to add up to 17. Obviously, you can't have a look and say cage without a 7, and you can't have a 4 here. So that would make this 2, 5, 1, 9. But that would mean 9's not here. 9's not here. Where's the 9 in row 3? It has to be here. So this is 8 and 9. This cannot be 1 or 9 or 8. So this is a 6, 7 pair, and we'd have to have a 4, 7 pair here and a 6, 7 pair here, which means we'd have a duplicate 7 in box 1. So this can never be a 4 in this cage, which means 4 has to be here, which means this cannot be 4. You cannot have a 4 here. You can't have a 4 here. So 4 has to be in this cage. So it's 2, 4, and 5. This can't be 4. So 4 has to be here. Obviously, which means this can't be 4. 4 cannot be here anymore. So 4 has to be in this cage. So it can never be 2. It can never be. It's either 2, 4, 5, 7 or 2, 4, 5, 6 here, right? Because 2, 4, 5 adds up to 11. Right. 2, 4, 5 adds up to 11, which would add up with 6 to add up to 17. Or it's a look and say cage, which is 1, 7. So you can never have 8 or 9 here. It's 2, 4, 5, 6, or 7 in this cage. Therefore, 1 has to be one of these two. 1 is one of these two cells, which means this can never be 1. To add up to 17, it's 3, 5 with 2, 7. Okay, so this can never be 9 here. Because 9 can only be consecutive with 8. So if it's 2, 3, 5, it's 7. It could be 3, 5, 1, 8. Or it could just be 3, 5, 7 with some other random digit, right? Those are the possibilities. Okay. Okay. That's another thing we have. Okay, in this column, sorry, in this row, this is either 6, 7, 7, 8, or 8, 9, which means there has to be a 6 or an 8 in one of these consecutive pairs, right? 6, 7, 7, 8, or 8, 9 are the possible pairs. They all contain a 6 or an 8. This must be 6 or 8, which means the rest of the row cannot contain 6 or 8. Which means we now have a 1, 7, 9 quadruplet in box 1, which eliminates 1, 7, 9 in the rest of the box. This can't be 7. This has to be 1 or 7 with 2 or 6 here, because those are the only consecutive digits with 1 or 7. Well, if this is 6 and 7, that would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. So this has to be 1 here and 2 here, which means this cannot be 2. This can't be 1 or 2. This can't be 2. So these digits have to be essentially 8 with 7 or 9 here, because 3 is consecutive only with 2 or 4, and those are both eliminated. We now have a 7, 8, 9 triplet in box 7, which eliminates 7, 8, and 9 in the rest of the box. This cannot be 8 because the 8 has to be in one of these two cells. So this 8 eliminates 8 here, so this is 4, this is 8. This can no longer be 4. 4 is one of these two digits. This can't be 1 or 2, so it's 3 or 5 here. What is this? Okay, this cannot be 1. This 7 or 9. This 7, or if it's 7 here, it can be 6 or 8 here. If it's 9 here, it has to be with 8. So this is 6 or 8 here. Obviously one of these is a 6 still. This cannot be 1 and 2, because that would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. So this has to be 8 with 7 or 9, which means this can't be 8. Therefore, this is an 8 here. Since this is an 8, there's no 1, 7 here. So there has to be 3, 5, and 8, and 1 in this box to add up to 17, because it's a killer cage. It cannot be a look and say cage. This is also a killer cage, because it can't have a look and say with the 7. So this has to be 1, 3, and 5 added up with 9. Sorry, added up with 8 to add up to 17, which means this can't be 1. This has to be a 2. This can't be 2 or 8. This must be a 1 then, which means 1 cannot be here. 8 cannot be here. 8 can't be... Actually, in fact, where is the 1 in column 6? It has to be here, which means this can't be 1, which means where's the 1 in column 7? It has to be here, so this is 1. One of these is an 8. We have a 7, 6, 7, 8, 9 triplet in, or sorry, quadruplet in box 3, which forces this to be not 6, 7, 8, 9 in the rest of the box. Therefore, this is 6 in that box, and this must be with 7. So this is 6 and 7, which means this can't be 7. This is 9. This can't be 9. This is a 7, 8 pair, which forces this to be 9, which makes this 8, this 6, and that's 7. So none of these can be 7. This is an 8, 9 pair. 6 cannot be here. This 6 eliminates 6 here, so this is 8, this is 6. This 8 eliminates 8 here. 7 and 9 is only consecutive with 8, so this is 8. This is 9. This 8 eliminates 8 here, so this is 7, 8. 7 eliminates 7 here, so this is 9. That makes that 7. These can't be 7. This is an 8, 9 pair, which means this can't be a 9. This is 7, 6, and 7. 6 eliminates 6 here, so it's 5. This can't be 5. This 9 eliminates 9 here, so this is 3. This is 9. This 5 eliminates 5 here, so it's 3. This can't be 3 or 5, or sorry, 3 or 1, so this must be 5. We celebrate the 3 in the corner because we know we're getting close to solving it. This is the 1. This 3 eliminates 3 here, so this is 2. This is 5. This must be a 3, 6 pair here. This has to be 2 and 9, and this can't be 2, so this must be 9, which makes this a 2. Remaining digits here are 3 and 7, and this can't be 7 because of the 7 in the row, so this is 3, this is 7. This 6, 7 pair eliminates 6 here, so this is 8, which makes this a 5, 6 pair. 5 can't be here, so this is 6, this is 5. This 6 eliminates 6 here, so it's 4 and 6. We have a 1, 2 pair here. This can't be 2, so this must be 1, which makes that 2. That leaves 3 and 4 here, so this is 4, this is 3. The 1 eliminates 1 here, so this is 8 and 1. 3 eliminates 3 here, so it's 6 and 3. 8 eliminates 8 here, it's 9 and 8. That makes this 7 and 9, and 6 and 7. Yeah, I would not consider, with the so many possibilities for the look and say cages and killer cages, I don't think this is easy. I would not consider it easy. Yeah, this is more challenging in my mind, but not too difficult. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed these consecutive pairs, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.